Those. Yesterday there was a shooting in Texas. This is where we are right now, currently. Hopefully, maybe we are here, maybe we're not. When you're older and watching this, there was a shooting today at a Texas elementary school in Vidal, Texas. It's about 30, 40 minutes from San Antonio, about 3, 4 hours from us. 18 people killed. I think at least 17 with children. The gunman was none but an 18-year-old boy who went to the local high school down the street. He went to school and shot children and one teacher. This is the scary part about sending you to school. We are sending you, Athena, to school this year. In Sherman, Texas, where we live, 2 gun incidents has already happened in this county this year alone. Or, well, yeah, I think it was this year. One might have been the end of last year. One, a bus driver actually stopped an elementary kid from taking a gun to school. He saw it on the bus and acted appropriately. An elementary kid was on a school bus with a gun about to take it to school. The local, and this is a school that you were supposed to attend if we had let you go last year. There's another kid, another school that gave notice to the teachers. I guess they caught a kid with a school and or a gun in his locker, but he never actually pulled it out, and he just took his gun and put it in his locker, and they got wind of it, and so they sent a notice out to the parents that they had found it, as a, to let them know what's going on. That is three elementary schools within like a 2-mile radius of us that had something to do with guns at elementary schools. Now, what makes me nervous about staying in a state which has been okay to us for the most part is that, and this is just using a lot of averages. This is, I can't say with certainty, but averages are, numbers, the statistics and numbers exist for a reason. Greg Abbott passed a gun law this last year that made it really easy for anyone to get a gun. I mean, there's open carry, no background checks. It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, literally, in this state, you can be 18 years old, and go buy 2 assault rifles and some Kevlar, and that's completely okay. In case you don't know at the time of reading this, an assault rifle is a gun that shoots multiple bullets per second. At 18 in Texas, you can go buy 2. Probably more, I'm guessing. I'm just saying he only has 2 arms. But you can go and buy assault rifles and Kevlar vests. If you're buying those together, I'm pretty sure you're not planning on defending someone, your property as much. Because who has time to go get a Kevlar vest unless if you can go find your Kevlar vest and put it on while you load up your 2 assault rifles, you probably hang around the wrong people. I've never anyone who just walks around their house or downtown with Kevlar vests on. So, and that's a bulletproof vest in case you didn't know, kids. Anyways, here's the problem about the statistics that scared the hell out of me. Greg Abbott passed that law. Greg Abbott is up for election, and he's going to win easily. That means the majority of Texans voted for him. So, there's 18 people who died because of lack of gun control. Statistically, if the 18 parents, lovers, spouse, whatever, of those people voted in the state of Texas, more than 9 of them voted for the same gun laws that allowed this to happen. I bet you now they wish they were different. Now, hindsight, they wish they were changed. They wish they hadn't voted that. And the scary part is that is probably more inaccurate in my opinion. Thinking that half of them still feel that they change their mind because half of them such nut jobs with this little MAGA movement that they probably, it's just how things are, even though it's their own kid. Or, yeah, it's tragic, I lost my son today, but I still believe in guns for everyone. That is what's so crazy. No other country in the civilized world that considers himself a first or second power, like how we are. We're not a third world power. We're first, top rate, elite power. No country is in number one, number two has this kind of number show up shooting and killing children. See, that's the thing that blows my mind is when and just earlier this, like I think it was like 10 days ago, there was a white guy with a manifesto who went out and killed I think 10 black people at a grocery store. I as cold as this might sound, and I don't mean to be cold, it's just I'm a very factual person. Adults have a chance to run. They have a chance to defend themselves. Elderly or not, you, by these stupid gun laws, had a right to have a gun on yourself. You had a right to try to shoot that guy before he shoots you by a lot of these states, lame, lax gun laws. So I get that. These kids, they didn't have a way to defend themselves. They should have never had to worry about defending themselves at school. If they're at a park and I don't know if I already told you kids this story. I seen a guy get shot in the chest when I was like 12 years old. Flat, point blank. I mean, I saw the flash of the muzzle. I was maybe 2 feet, 3 feet from I just walked around the corner of my building, so I couldn't see these people at all before I turned the corner. As soon as my first foot started to turn the corner, pow, big old flash. I didn't deer in the headlights. I ran. I hauled, but all the way back to the park, which was like 2 blocks away. I mean, that's probably why I was a state champion in sprinting. I hauled so fast back to that park, and I knew that if I kept running, he's gonna see me running. He's gonna find me, because who else is running? No one else at the park. Even at the park, they didn't see what happened. So who's running? So I slid under a bush and hid there, hoping that he wouldn't see me because he's looking for someone running away, which I was running when I ran away. But I'm pretty sure he didn't run and start chasing me immediately. So I slid under a bush. I'm 12. No, probably. I'm sorry. I'm probably 14, 15 because I was freshman in high school. And as I'm laying in that bush, scared, he walks by me. I see his feet walk by me in that bush. I thought I was gonna die. That shouldn't have been a feeling I ever had. Not at 14 years old. And funny thing, gun laws wasn't even as lax back then. He kept walking. He couldn't find me. Obviously, I wouldn't be here if he did. But that, again, I grew up in a bad neighborhood. I grew up in an area that was voted, I think it was USA Today, say one of the 25 most depressing places to live in. There was murders. They ain't the first person I seen get shot. I think it was the last person I saw got shot, honestly, though. But I can understand the world not being sad if I got shot by an accident because I was over wrong place, wrong time. It's still sad. I'm a kid, but I'm in the inner city, black on black violence. I get that. I can logically understand why people might think that was acceptable. But if this happened at my school, that's never acceptable. Never. And I know the right-wing Republicans right now are going to say, well, of course it's not acceptable. It should never happen. But what are you going to do about it? What difference are you going to make besides condolences? Our prayers are with you. That's all that's going to happen. And it's so sad because literally, I personally, this is my opinion, I think if you have to, if there's a more negative stigma on it, and not a cool thing, not a go-to thing, people gonna frown upon it. And people, it might, that little bit of hesitation might save lives. That guy probably still gonna buy the gun eventually. But then, it takes him maybe another week or two busts the carriage because all his friends think he's crazy if he gets a gun. He hasn't passed background check, which he might not think he's gonna pass, but he still tries it. Finally, after getting the courage to go try, he passed because he lied. Or someone online, he saw how he could lie about this and do this and do that to get it. But that extra 2-3 weeks, someone might have noticed him stockpiling. And so it might say to the police, hey, this dude over got like 2 assault rifles, so I kill. And the police go over there and stop him. And the only person who dies is himself. Because it took just 2 more weeks for him to get that gun. Or 2 more weeks for that vest to come in. And that could be the difference. And he died by himself. And these 14 kids didn't have to die. These 14 elementary school kids, that means they're under 10 years old more than likely. They didn't have to die. All because we asked for a background check. All because it's not cool to have a gun that shoots 50 rounds in less than a minute. All of a sudden, it's not cool to die by shooting out with the cops. I know the election is going on. It went on. Yeah, hopefully, it changed some things. So, I mean, election actually, some of the primary elections actually happened the same day as the shooting. So hopefully, some people change some of their votes and try to get some of these people out of office who don't truly care about the children that way. I'm not saying they want kids to die. There's no way in hell you have to be totally sadistic to want children to die. I'm not saying that about any Republican, Democrat, anybody. No one, no. I don't want to meet the person that wants children to die. But I do want to meet the person who puts stuff in play to help prevent children from dying. I'd be kind of cool to meet the guy who came up with the concept of car seats. The whistleblower who blew the whistle on the baby formula shortage we're going on right now. That'd be kind of a good guy. No, I think he's a good guy, but I don't think Congress is gonna do anything about it. At least not the right side. And that's the part that scares me about you guys going to school. Is that it is going to happen. You're gonna have to go to school, and I live in an area, not just a state. I live in an area where this has happened. In an area where in 2, 3 months, two different people brought guns to school or tried to bring school guns to elementary schools. I hope that you guys live long enough to see this and much more. Long enough to send your kids to school and have these worries. And these worries are actually jokes at that time. Where you guys are like, remember when our dad said he sent to school and kids had guns? Boy, guns been outlawed in our county for a long time, blah, blah, blah. I hope that they have it. It ain't gonna happen though. Too much money. And again, I don't have a problem with someone having a gun, honestly. A grown up, responsible grown up with a gun, that's not even an issue with me. I don't like them carrying it everywhere in the state. I don't like where you can buy a bottle of Jack Daniels and get a free one. I don't like stuff like that. But I'm not a gun person. Period. Not. Only hold two in my entire life. I'm almost 50. But that's your thing. That's your thing. But that shouldn't be your thing. Shoot up a school. Period.